Hello folks, it's Richard Moore, and today I'm going to bring you a story of betrayal, murder, and criminals with badges, and none other than Lowndes County, Mississippi. I'm going to begin this video with one of the important facts of the murder and death of Jefferson Russell Finch, 26 years old. He was pronounced dead in an isolation cell in, I got my pug over here snoring, in Lowndes County, Mississippi jail on March the 15th, 2019. He was placed in isolation due to a rat by the name of Joseph Purcell. Now, Russell was under the care of a doctor, and he was taking and prescribed Suboxone. In order for a person to be weaned off of Suboxone, that needs to be, or Suboxone, needs to be done through medical supervision. It's very dangerous to cold turkey an individual, especially under duress, especially under what he had been put through prior to being thrown into this isolation torture chamber at Lowndes County Jail. And we have all the credit to give to the sheriff of Lowndes County. Folks, that's who you're voting for. Those that are voting in Lowndes County in the election. When you go to the poll and you pull that lever, you're pulling a lever for an individual that has an organization of cold-blooded killers that believe that they're above the law and have yet to be held accountable for multiple deaths in Lowndes County. They're quick to cover up, make up stories and tell lies, hide and cover up evidence. Like they did in Ryan Taylor's murder, we know that law enforcement's involved, but they will go to any length to cover that up. We know that the death of Tyler Hall was not a game of Russian roulette. It's a cover-up. We know that the death of Austin Hines was a cold-blooded murder in broad daylight, over 100 officers involved. Cover-up. Same goes for Russell Finch. Russell Finch, his mother, Sheila, was arrested on August the 20th, 2021. This is indicative to this program of community orgasmic policing that falls down from the Department of Justice through their risk text program, and this holistic approach to everyone doing their part in the FBI InfraGard, where they circumvent the Constitution and our rights. And we've got pathetic individuals with badges that dare not take the phone calls of the families and to dismiss them and to continue to psychologically drag them and to continue to not only destroy their family, murder their children, but to destroy them as well. On August the 20th, 2021, Russell's mother was arrested on 2 counts of two sales charges of selling a controlled substance. Now, this took a long time for her friend since 2nd grade, Melissa Strong, to continue and to continue and to continue and continue and continue. Help me find some dope. I need some dope. She's trying to help this individual that she trusts. Melissa had been there the whole time. She knew the grief that her mother was going through, and that, my friend, was exploited. It was designed to exploit her and her weaknesses and her grieving of her child being murdered in the county jail. So who were the henchmen? Jeff Edmondson, Agent Connor, Agent Lee, and Agent Brower all got together with Melissa Strong to make sure that they could arrest and raid the home of Sheila Finch and drag her back to the very jail where her son met his fate. It's a sad day in America, folks. After she gets out of jail, unbeknownst to Sheila, her knowing who the rat was and how it all happened, Melissa Strong continued to be there and to pretend she was her friend and all this stuff, and that she was going through it with her until discovery was done, and to find out that, in fact, her best friend since second grade was a card-carrying rat working for the Rat King, diabolical Jeff Edmondson in Lowndes County, Mississippi. Pathetic of how they exploit other citizens, including children, and getting them children to giving them illegal drugs and turning tricks. Have to look any further than Amy and Holly O'Callaghan in that clan that have pimped out their own children at the bequest of Assistant U.S. Attorney Paul Roberts to conspire to exploit. Not only do they exploit these children, they exploit their families, and you get the arrest on the fake, weak-lilied, weak-kneed sister media. WCBI and WTVA are not worth the salt in their bread, ladies and gentlemen. You'll never get the truth. You get it here, I stay under constant attack. As people come forward and tell me how Jeff Edmondson himself and the sheriff have approached them, would they work with them to help try to concoct some type of crime to knock yours truly's head off? And we're on the same page, criminal. I'm doing everything within my power as a free American citizen. I'm exercising my constitutional rights. I actually support God and country. I absolutely believe in that Constitution. I absolutely believe in the rule of law. I believe that no one is above the law. And I believe the law applies to every single citizen, not just a select few. And I believe that when you try to tilt the scales and to skew the game, to stack the deck, you're not helping a community. You're poisoning the minds of the community. You're poisoning. You're driving one race and pitting one race against the other. You're keeping constant turmoil. Yet people are dying, and you do a news conference and tell a lie. Well, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep putting these rolling rats like Melissa Strong. Pathetic snitch. Joseph Purcell. Pathetic snitch. It rolls downhill. You're working for somebody and you've sold your soul for what? A corner sack of dope? You didn't get the big houses. You didn't get the bank. You never will. You sold your soul to the devil himself. You're not American. You're not a patriot. You're no better than Jeff Edmondson, an enemy of the state. And the sheriff of Lowndes County blood is on your hands. You put that man back in office. Any of his crew back in office. you're doing a disservice. You're spitting on the graves of the slain. You're spitting in the faces of those that have been forced into homelessness, those that have been ostracized and isolated, forced into unemployment. Many have taken their own lives. You've brought nothing but the theme of kill, steal, and destroy. You're the pure definition of evil. But there's some God-fearing people that are willing to stand up and say, "Thus saith the Lord," that are willing to call out in daylight what you do in the dark. We're going to continue to do that. I'm 100% listener and viewer supported, folks. You can support USAGSA. The links are in the comment section. Or in the, not in the comment section, in the description. My email, my contact information is there as well. I've got more stories to do, folks. There's more rats. We're rat deep in North Mississippi. We're rat deep in North Mississippi. I've got my hands full. I'm not complaining. God put me here for a reason. I happen to be victimized by the same process. And 10 years of my life behind bars for a crime I didn't commit. And yet we still see those like attorney and pathetic, pitiful excuse of humanity of Jeff and Cindy Navarro in Monroe County, Mississippi, have hate groups on Facebook. They dare spew their vomit of lies while they cover up the murders of their own son. Folks, we've had enough. I've had enough. When we look at that, Dustin Parker has had a whole career of snitching and ratting. And now we have a 76-year-old lady, Judy Baxter, that was brutally raped and murdered in her home in front of her husband that had Alzheimer's that couldn't defend it. And Dustin Parker walks free. And I'm the bad guy for exposing them. Bad guy, so be it. Until next time, folks, let me hear from you. I encourage you to pray. Sheila Finch managed to negotiate a drug court deal, and she had taken responsibility for her error, for what she did. But she can't take all the responsibility. You see, it was not just a carrot. Sure, she could have said no. But when you've got someone that's been your friend since 2nd grade, that's pushing and pushing and pushing, and they said you could go here, do this, and they open all these doors, and they make the illegal drugs available, and they pave the way for you to walk into that trap, because if it weren't for law enforcement, we wouldn't have illegal drugs. This is how they create the crimes. I say we take them out of office. I say the Department of Justice needs to finally start investigating these people, charging these people, and throwing them under the penitentiary. Until next time, share, subscribe, like. God bless you.